Hey everyone, it's MMORPG.com's Wayback Wednesday. I'm your host, Rob, aka Graculin, and tonight we are playing Dungeons and Dragons Online. This is actually Eberron content. We're not in the newer Forgotten Realms, or even the newer Return to Giant Hold content they got going on. What we're doing tonight is we're going and we are playing one of the mission packs that was voiced by the late great Gary Gygax. For those of you who don't know, which probably not very many of you, Gary was one of the co-founders of TSR and co-creators of Dungeons and Dragons, and a lot of people consider him to be the father of the RPG. And because of that, there's very few of us who play games within this genre that he hasn't directly had or indirectly had a very significant impact in our pastimes. So he passed away 5 years ago on Monday, and this is the first time I got a chance to stream Wayback Wednesday since then. So in order to pay homage to Gary's passing 5 years ago and what he's meant to the MMO world, we're going to go and play this content pack, which is voiced by Gary, and that'll be our way of kind of saying thanks. For those of you guys that are in chat, if you have any kind of, ever been to a Gen Con, which he first set up, which is Lake of Geneva convention, any kind of memories from that, or if you got any stories just about when you played D&D or if it had an impact on you, feel free to share them in chat. And yeah, so for those you're saying that it's saying Asheron's Call, you either need to refresh or it's a Twitch bug. But I have with me Chrissy. Chrissy, say hello.
Hello.
She won't talk much because she's got a weird going on with her microphone, but there is somebody else here with me. Your soul is filled with peace as you approach the memorial to a fallen hero, E. Gary Gygax. So they do actually have a little monument to him, a memorial as well. Is there actually anything you could read on it? Is there anything interactable with this?
Sadly, no.
Okay, well, it does say something when you approach it, so let's slow down and approach it one more time so everybody can see what it says. I gotta run further away and come back. Oh, for those of you asking about the weekly schedule, I pulled an Audible, because I can do that. We'll get back to Asheron's Call. It's just not tonight. Okay. Oi! He saluted sharply.
Don't forget to get the quest.
Oh, I forgot to get them too. Can you run back and grab them and share them with me?
Oh, we'll find out.
You're a gem. And Chrissy's gonna run off.
Did you get that?
Get the quest. I did. Give me 1 second.
Alright.
Pooh. Let's see. I gotta announce it through MMO or forget. Thanks for showing up, everybody. I know we'll have a good time. Because we got Chrissy for the tour guide. Alright. I'll edit this part out later for posterity's sake. Alright, now I'm ready. So Dalara's Graveyard, this is in House J, which is on the northeast side of the marketplace. It is on the Eberron side of the game, and it's in a graveyard. Alright, which one are we going to? The Reliquary, the Antechamber, or the Tomb? I think we should do it on Elite since, you know, it's level 5.
I don't care. Whatever floats your boat.
No permadeath. No permadeath. That's okay. We appreciate you coming and hanging out for a little while. So this is Dalara's tomb. There's got to be a lot of undead. We need to find a clue about the disappearances in Dalara's tomb. So Chrissy, you're from the northern Midwest. Have you ever been to a Gen Con?
Yes, I have. But when they were in Milwaukee.
Do you know what the Gen and the Gen Con stands for?
No,
This
can't say I do.
module is narrated by Gary Gygax.
The tomb opens up into a larger space.
Oops. I
The
didn't mean to do
underground
that.
structure is much bigger than the surface entrance would suggest.
The Gen is for Lake Geneva.
Oh, that would make sense.
The sound of the bridge dropping is followed by that of caskets breaking open. Undead have arisen around you.
You know, seeing as we're 10 levels higher than these guys, I thought they would have just, like, dropped over dead. I guess they are an elite, though, huh?
Yeah.
So when was the last time you went to a Gen Con?
When it used to be in Milwaukee.
What year would that be?
Oh my goodness, I don't even want to think about that.
Oh, okay.
I'd say the 90s, somewhere around there. We just had to get the switch down there.
So what about you, chat room? How's everybody doing tonight? Any of you guys old pen and paper D&D or any other RPG players? So we got an optional boss here. Turned out to not be so tough. We got the Guild 13 Renown. We're the bomb. If I remember correctly, axes aren't really the best thing to use against skeletons. It's like maces, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, I should probably change my weapons, huh?
That might be a good plan.
Hey, Toy Trumpet. Hey, Jose. Your name is a weird green and so hard to see. Even with the glasses. Alright, let me look at my inventory here, which you can't look at my inventory because you're going to freak out, but let me look at my inventory and find my mace.
Okay.
Here we go, got my maces. Hey, Oshi! Gotcha. And we still need to find a clue about that disappearing Delira. I got a Market Keeper, what about you?
What was that?
I said I got like some kind of collectible. I was like, what did you get?
Oh, I don't know.
Immediately following the sound of the second bridge dropping, you also hear the less distant sound of a door slamming shut behind you.
You hear the door slam, which is trapping you to your death. Thanks, Gary. "10 years of DOC, that's quite a while. So how many max realm rank characters you got?
The holy symbols of the sovereign host adorn the walls around you. This place was once hallowed ground.
It may have once been hallowed ground, but it's not anymore. You know, you can hit it. Don't be afraid.
Oh, I can't hit the broadside of a bus.
You could at least pretend to try. You just gather them all up and get them close to me. I'll just keep swinging wildly. But you're a cleric, aren't you? Shouldn't you have, like, turn undead or something? Just, like, melt these things.
I did.
There you go. See?
Mind the trap. Oh, hit the wrong button again. Whoops.
My game just went crazy. It's trying to constantly rotate me.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Do you need me to pause for a sec?
Yeah, that'd probably be good until I figure out why my character is just trying to run himself around in circles.
Okay.
we go. My screen adjusted size too. Let's see. There we go. Okay, all better. It's freaking out on me there. That's a restaurant, I think. Oh, I still got my lovely 20-sided color dye down there. That's two things that I absolutely adore about DDO. One is the simulated 20-sided die for all your attacks. The second is the experience summary at the end of the missions. DDO's been out for about 6 years, I want to say. Maybe getting closer to 7, but at least 6. They have a new expansion due out at the end of this summer. What do you think of the new expansion, Chrissy? Are you excited?
I'm totally excited.
You know it's going to be a paid one, right?
Yeah, well, such is life.
That's why it's called the second expansion, when you know that there's been other free ones. I guess that's actually like a point of internal debate is on whether or not what it constitutes. Chrissy's door is locked. Get to picking.
Can't do that in this character.
Multi-class. It will be done. Make it so! Protection from evil. Wow! That,
Hurt yourself?
Yeah, I failed my saving throw.
I'll be there momentarily.
Yes, I will play that other D&D game when it comes out. There's room for both.
All better.
But yeah, for those that did ask about Neverwinter, I'm actually going to have some keys to give away tomorrow. Bill and I will during MMOFTW. I'm not going to imagine level 5s coming through and having some really trouble with this. Like, to the tune of that trap I hit just insta-gibbed. Supposed to be helping with these things.
I know, I know.
Chrissy's setting me up. She's like, you're gonna die. Look at you. Actually, these skeletons just beat the poo out of you. Yes, Lesser. Yes, Lesser. I still love finding the traps to my face. At least this time, though, I'm actually awake to find them.
At least somebody's awake.
As opposed to when we used to play it at midnight, I'd be like half asleep most of the time. Wraiths! Wraiths are cool. So do you read any of the books? Like, you know, just campaign manuals for fun, you know, any of the campaign books, you know, like that?
Sure.
Anything recently?
Sadly not.
I've been listening to, I just started listening to Karen's Claw on Audible today. The same day that The Last Threshold came out. I ordered The Last Threshold once on the way. Do you have any idea what I'm talking about?
No, I don't. I'm sorry, I'm still half asleep.
You're killing me.
I'm sorry. I'm working on that whole coffee thing.
Yeah. So anyways, a couple years ago, R.A. Salvatore wrote a book called Gauntlet Rim, and in it is when they announced the whole Neverwinter game thing, and at the time it wasn't really an MMO, or it was an MMO, and then they turned it not to be an MMO, and then they made it back into an MMO. Regardless, the 4th book of the series and final book came out today, and those 4 books kind of give a real back history to the city of Neverwinter, which, you know, is coming out as another D&D MMO. Anyway, and then there are another set of books coming out which talks about the post-Sundering game, and it's going to kind of set up the new rules in D&D Next. So if you're not really aware, Wizards of the Coast is working on post-4th edition rule set called D&D Next, and they basically had this thing called the Sundering, which has gone through and kind of wiped the slate of all previous D&D stuff clean, to the point where they're just going to go ahead and they're redoing some classes. Like today I saw the guys talking about whether or not they're even going to have the Ranger be its own class, or if it's going to be like a subclass of a fighter, or maybe it's going to be a subclass of a rogue type. So they've got some massive incoming changes. But anyways, these books, alright, Salvatore's got one coming out later this year called The Companions, and then Richard Baker's got one coming out. There's like a series of 6 of them that are coming out that are really going to start setting the stage across all of Toril and Faerun, as far as what's going on with what in the whole D&D world. They actually have these play tests at stores too, to test, you know, basically to beta test the new rules with actual players before they go live with them. On, like, they call them encounters, and they do them on, like, Friday nights at like game stores and stuff like that. I like to keep up on the news. And the funny thing is, I haven't actually played D&D in maybe 20 years. Somewhere in there. No, I'll get back 15, 16 maybe. But I still try to keep up on the news of it. Yes. Yes, we were talking about D&D Next. What'd you say, Chrissy?
I said I'm glad that you do keep up with that news. I obviously have not.
I know, I heard you got a new job.
I did.
Maybe one day you can tell me about it. Maybe one day you can tell me about it.
I sure will.
Did you see what that little Kickstarter today did? Speaking of D&D, this is a different campaign setting. It's not the Forgotten Realms or Eberron, but it was the Planescape campaign setting, so you guys probably know where I'm going with this. Today, the guys that made Planescape Torment just launched off a Kickstarter, and they were seeking $900,000, and they made $1.2 million. They're probably up to $1.3 million by this point in one day. I think they're probably going to hit, it's not a Planescape Kickstarter, it's a Torment Kickstarter. It's in a totally different universe. Very similar to, not very, but yeah, it's got some similarities. It's the spiritual successor to Planescape Torment. It's called Torment something something something, which is the new campaign world that it's in. Anywho, I threw $20 at him within like 2 minutes, and I was like, yeah, I'm cool, I'm an early adopter. And then half the world threw money at him. Like Marcus Pearson, I know, gave him like 10,000. If you guys wonder who that is, it's Notch, the dude behind Minecraft. Yeah, Torment Tides Numenera. Good shit. And besides D&D, Gary actually did a lot of...
I need a shrine.
Okay. Besides D&D, Gary actually came up with a number of different games when he was with TSR, and even after he left TSR. Ah, they're up to 1.415008 million now.
Oh wow.
That's all. That's all. I think they're going to get close to probably about 4 million by the time it's all said and done. That's my predictions. Have fun in there. Chrissy ran ahead without me. I did back the Shadowrun.
Oh, there's an extra chest over that way too. I'll get it after I shrine, because there's more stuff to fight.
I have backed Torment, I backed Shadowrun, and I backed Pathfinder. And I'm still waiting for my t-shirt from Shadowrun. I'm actually very disappointed in their backer fulfillment system and the fact that they haven't done it, and it's been a year almost. I want my t-shirt.
Oh, I'm locked out again.
And I'm actually supposed to interview them next month, so I'll be like, hey, where's my t-shirt? No, I probably won't do that, but I will, though. Definitely when I'm not on camera, ask them where my t-shirt's at. Yo, Zakir, how are you doing? That's okay. There's teach your own. If you don't like the whole Kickstarter, principle, that's cool. But that's the beauty of it. You don't have to pay any money towards it if you don't want to. I like the fact that hopefully you're not going to end up with any publishers, mutating games into what they weren't supposed to be by the time it gets to you, and you actually get to keep the vision of the original creators. So. We shall see. Oh, there's a note from Delar's tomb. I wonder if that's going to give us a clue.
Hit it.
My inventory slots are full. Aren't you surprised?
Okay, get ready.
A chill passes through you as skeletons rise behind the bars to the sides of the room. They don't look entirely solid.
They don't look entirely solid. Well, I've been talking about Shadowrun Returns. I haven't really looked into Shadowruns Online yet. I can tell you that there was a Shadowrun made for the Xbox, which was absolutely horrible. But the Shadowrun that was made for the Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis were amazing.
Wasn't the Shadowrun for the Xbox like a crossover with...
It was like a shooter.
It was a shooter that was supposed to cross over with PC.
It didn't do anything.
We're done.
I want to see a... We're done?
Well, with this portion.
We didn't slay Vengeance.
Well, we can.
What kind of people would be if we did not slay Vengeance?
Well, let's do it then.
Let's slay Vengeance. I want to hear Gary say, good job slaying Vengeance. Can you give me a link to that online one? Because I would definitely like to look into that, because I haven't really either paid attention or seen anything about it. Or either that or it's an abandoned project. Because the original people behind Shadowrun are with Hairbrained, and they're the ones working on SSR. Whoever's working on whoever's working on SRO probably is not related to those guys. Yeah, my weapons are just not doing any damage to these guys. Because they're ghostly.
Yeah, you need good aligned weapons to hit them.
Okay.
Find something?
No, just looking at something else.
This way to vengeance.
Alrighty. I got lost about the MMO talk. Have to take a look at that later after the stream. What were you saying, Zakir? Zakir, you're definitely a huge collectible trading card game and RPG fellow. What are some of your earliest pen and paper RPG memories?
Well, I started in like MUDs, you know, multi-user dungeon.
Correct.
And I even used to play Gemstone 3 on the old Genie network, paying like $3 an hour.
Okay.
Until I racked up, as a 13-year-old, a $300 bill in 1 month.
Ooh.
And I basically became a slave to my father until I paid that off. And yeah, like...
Any pen and paper games?
Oh, the paper game? Well, I mean, everything. Think about it. From Magic, early on in Magic, I still play Magic now, to the mech war game, Babylon 5, Werewolf, Jihad. I even tried, you know, Dragon Ball and Harry Potter and just any game. They used to have a collectible card game, baseball game.
Oh, I found something that you're really going to like, Secure. Give me 1 second, Chris.
And they had a football game once, too, that had like an electronic, it was like a barcode battler football game.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Except they screwed up because they made the cards too reflective and the readers didn't work.
I remember, you're talking about early systems like that. My grandfather had an Intellivision, and going downstairs and taking a butter knife and changing the antenna out from, like, you know, the rabbit ears to being that little split wire, 2 screws with the flathead, using a butter knife instead of a screwdriver.
some of the best card games, the ones that where you really interact with the other guy, like, I never liked the werewolf one because it was like...
It was like, terrible. The Jihad card game?
No, Jihad was good. The werewolf one was bad because you had like your deck and your combat deck, and you never really fought the other guy. Shadow one had the same problem. You never really felt like you're playing the other guy. The MechWarrior was one of the better ones. Magic is still the best. The World of Warcraft one was pretty good, but the way they set it up class-wise, every new set was, it felt like you were only getting 1 or 2 cards for your class, so it didn't really have a lot of, collectability in my opinion. Babylon 5 was a lot of fun, but the games never ended. It was so political. But you name it, I wasted a lot of money on it.
You say you wasted your money on it?
There are a lot of games where you buy them and, unless it catches on, you feel like you wasted your money.
Yeah. I'm actually interested in getting, there's a new D&D miniatures game out that just recently came out. You basically buy a box of pre-painted miniatures, and those are kind of your army. You can do a quick game.
Are you sure that's new? Because
it's like a year or two. It's not like
there's been one for a
super
while.
brand new. But this one that I picked, maybe only 5 different ones out, and they just had 2 new sets come out recently.
They used to be collectible, like random, but people didn't like that because they wanted to collect the figures for their tabletop games. So they made them, like you know what you're getting pretty much.
Yeah, I think this is like a new version with some rules, and they also tie into the boxed games now that they sell. Like you can get the Menzo Barons or Menzo Barons on.
Yeah, I tried that too. I tried the WoW one, and Hero Clicks and all those things are kind of fun. And I'm a gambler. I love opening.
Yeah.
Packs and seeing what I get. But
I never saw you do that with Guild Wars 2 and like die packs.
No, I didn't waste all my money buying crap and wasting it. Yes, I did. But no, I've tried them all. Like everyone has their plus and minuses. Recently, Nick and myself. Well, Nick has bought the Netrunner game. But that is like said, they just released the whole set and let you play, and it's actually kind of fun.
I don't know.
I just went to Quebec City for a Magic tournament.
Yeah. I don't know where
it's the granddaddy of them all.
I don't know what happened to all my White Wolf source books. I used to have quite a few, but I've got something. I'll show you guys when we get done beating on these ghostly skeletons here that I've got, which is probably older than all of us. So I think you're the same age that I am, or you might be a year older than I am. So it's probably the same age as you. Oh, you can't hear me. I'm sitting there talking. I forgot to push talk. Thank you for watching the stream. I got some. I can't find my World of Darkness source books, but I've got some other stuff that's even older than that. It might actually be the same age. Maybe a year older than you are.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's like Dungeon Command. Yeah. But I'll show you. Hold on. Are you watching the stream?
We're like the same age.
I think you're like a year older than I am.
I'm 34.
Exactly. I just turned 34 in June. You're older.
Come watching the stream.
Okay.
I believe Vengeance may be the Scorpion we can't get to. I thought at first it was the Wraith, but I was wrong.
Oh, this is 93, so this might have been after Gary had left the company that came out.
Oh, it's a red box.
This is from 1978. That's the that's the original
stuff.
AD&D Player's Handbook. That's from '78, and this is the AD&D Dungeon Master Guide from '78 also. And they're from Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, which is the whole thing behind Gen Con, because it was from Lake Geneva.
Are those toys on this floor? What is that?
Those are baby toys. Those were baby toys. Here is the World of Greyhawk campaign
Sure.
that Gary Gygax wrote, and it's got the hex maps in the back. And then I lied. I found my World of Darkness. That's original Vampire the Masquerade, Werewolf the Apocalypse, and the Vampire's Player Guide. And I've got some of the handbooks, like the Assamite.
I have that too.
Which were like the vampire. Yeah, the vampire assassins that's paid with blood. Now here's something that you might really like. These are magic cards from like '94.
Okay, hold on. You might have a lot of money there, my friend.
Do you remember when Urza's Saga came out?
Well, of course, I had a stroke. I didn't lose my brain memory.
So
I mean,
these are like the oldest ones in here are like from Urza's Saga. Magic the Gathering Portal.
You might have some money there, my friend. Are those unopened packs?
No, they're open, but some of them have the white borders and some have the black borders.
October, my birthday. Give me.
But I know there's a difference between the white borders and the black borders. Some of these might be alpha cards. I'm not sure.
No, well, hold on. Now I gotta see what you got there, because you could have hundreds of dollars there. No joke.
Oh yeah,
you have
I know.
Even dual lands from 3rd edition, they could be upwards from $100.
These are from when I was in high school. I graduated high school in '97, so these are probably from like '95 and '96.
There are still cards from there that could be upwards of, well, you know, a good amount of money.
Do you want to see the Black Lotus that's in this bag?
You really have one?
No, but I wish I did, because if I had one, I'd sell it.
For like $3,000.
Yeah, but we can go off stream at some point and talk about these, because I've got some really fucking old cards here.
Like,
and I have no desire to do
let
anything
you
with
just
them.
read each of them to me, and I will tell you if you have money. Or I can refer you to a website.
Yeah, you can link the website if you want, but like I said, some of them you have. I know that the white borders are different, and we're going to finish out of this. Sorry, we got a little sidetracked, but that's the whole point tonight: to talk about RPGs, CCGs, just talk about all this stuff, because this was all, you know.
Speaking of which, I
influenced
was
by
at the Pro Tour Montreal, and I took a whole bunch of pictures on my Facebook, open to anyone. And I directed a video for a major website that deals in Magic, and I'm in an official Magic video. Well, you see me in the background. Because I'm a huge nerd.
Be proud of that.
Here's just a land. It's an island. Yeah, none of these are like in super great condition. I would say they're probably like on a scale of 1 to 10, maybe about 6 or 7.
Some comments from that era, like, you'd be surprised. even a common card could be like $6.
I'd sell every single card here. I have no attachment to any of them. Here, Jihad, Deckmaster, like this game from 19. This is from 1994. I bought this at the same time. I know, but I bought this at the same time I bought these Magic cards. Some of these Magic cards are from 1994.
There could be money there. Yeah, they changed Jihad to, what was it, just Vampire?
That's the original Swords to Plowshare.
$3. And it's a common, so it's $3.
Okay, where's the Priest Guide to Advanced Mod?
He is standing outside the gates to the graveyard. His name is Derek Grosbeck.
Alright, so we're going to Derek to advance the quest, and then we'll get back into the 2.
No, you're going to the mailbox and sending me all those cards.
And you're PayPaling me $1,000? Sure, okay. I mean, there's hundreds of card here. That could be, like, in your, best interest.
You never know what you have there. You really don't.
You are correct. You are correct.
The reason Magic still held its value is because a company like Star City started holding almost weekly tournaments for big cash. So it's not just collecting the cards. The cards can help you win money, and it's really helped boost the game up, and it's insane. Right?
I don't know where all my dice are. I cannot, for the life of me, find all my bags of dice and stuff. But look at this. I've got, like, read this first Magic playmat frickin' stuff.
Oh, instruction booklets? Not so much. I remember for Jihad,
Portal and Mirage.
There might be money in there. There's some good Mirage cards.
Alright, I talked to Derek. What now?
We gotta go back.
Hooray!
Jihad had the best strategy guide that had, like, amazing fiction to it. Like, I'd read it just for the fiction, the story they wrote about it. It was all intrigue with the vampires and how they're fighting, the eternal struggle and the masquerade and the whole shebang. It was just a fun read.
I have it, but I haven't read it yet.
Really?
Yeah, I've had it for a couple years. I just haven't. I haven't found a gaming troop to play with, so I haven't actually delved into it yet.
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
When did you sneak in here?
Oh, a bit ago. I couldn't help it.
Oh, alright.
I have that effect on the ladies. They can't help it when I'm It's because they got engaged.
So, what about, like, Havenwood Battleground? It's like tap to add 1 forest to your mana pool, sacrifice to add 2 forests to your mana pool.
No, it's kind of poopy.
Suck. But it's a land. You can tap it or sack it and get 2.
It has to be a good card.
Magic is one of those things that I never did get into as a avid gamer back in the day.
I had a bunch more too when slivers were popular. Like I had a sliver deck.
Yeah.
But these are way older than those were.
I can't convince my fiancée to play Magic. I even offered her sex and she's held off somehow.
Hey, no.
She's been resisting, despite my wily charms.
Aww.
By the way, love the baby toys in the background.
You're welcome. I have a baby. She turns 1 tomorrow, actually.
That's just his cover. It's really, he plays with them.
She is... Warning, this quest is not bestowed, or you are on the wrong chapter.
Oh, did you not talk to Grit?
I did.
Yeah, I
I
got
don't care.
engaged.
Shh,
My
Gary's
fiancé-
talking. Shush.
Oh, sorry. Shh, sorry. Shh.
He should have been talking. He didn't say anything.
Didn't say anything.
Come on, Gary. Slacking. I need to figure out where that weapon went in my inventory because I cannot hit these things to save my life.
So yeah, as you know, I got engaged in December, and I have a good, 15,000 saved up for the wedding so far, which is not bad. In exchange, my fiance said, okay, I can spend 2 weekends playing Magic, but then I gotta focus on wedding stuff, which is still in a year. So apparently $15,000 in an engagement ring only gets me 2 weeks of Magic, or 2 weekends of Magic.
Well, somebody got short of that stick, and somebody didn't. I'll let you figure out which is which.
Yeah.
Newsflash, it wasn't you.
Did you find it?
No, but I got some other weapons that are way more powerful that doesn't really matter.
I told her, I had the greatest weekends of my life, but then I had to preface it by saying of Magic of my life, because if I said the greatest weekend of my life wasn't with her, I'd be in trouble. Yeah, so you ladies know scam.
I like going to precedents, they're fun. I'll let you know how E3 is this year.
I could have gone when I was working in the business, but too busy working.
I just missed Emerald City Comic Con.
Get a lot of swag from E3.
That's what I hear. Sorry guys, I will be right back into the game. I just want to put these up so they're not in my way on.
Actually, what I've been looking at lately, and I know it's nerdy, but because I'm, the Marvel Heroes beta, Margaret Weiss made a Marvel Heroics RPG. Correct?
Yeah, dude,
Bad
it's
guys.
cool. It's cool. Alright, Secure, I gave you one shot, $300. I'll sell you that bag.
Do I get to look at it first?
Nope. You got to see what year they were from, how many there are. You're a gambler.
The only thing I know is you have at least $3 worth of cards with the Swords of Flesh.
Those cards are from 94, 95.
Trust me, there's a lot of cards from that era that are worth a lot of money and a lot that aren't.
That's what I'm saying. You're a gambling man. You know what's gonna suck is I'm gonna pull like 3 cards out of there that are worth like $100 each, and you're gonna be like, ah, damn it, should have done it.
I'll be like, oh yeah, they're like $2. I'll buy them off you. You trust me.
I actually want my wife to get me the white box set for my birthday or Christmas or something. Hanukkah. I don't care. It's like they're reselling a reissue of the white box for like, I think it's $140 or something. Alright, Chrissy, you want to open it up?
It's automatic.
It's automatic. What's going on? Why isn't it automatically opening up?
Takes a while.
The door takes a while?
Yeah, pretty much every time I've been in here, it doesn't open immediately when you kill everything.
Okay. There we go. That was
There we go.
interesting. Yeah, but I like the Greyhawk source manual I got down here. It's from 1980, and then my uncles used to play this when I was a kid, and that's where I got all this stuff from, was my uncles. And they've still got apparently I have stuff in here as well. Interesting. But there's, check these out. I might actually have to put these hex maps and hang these, frame them. Do you guys see that? And there's the source book here, and it talks about on the very back, Gen Con, America's premier game convention and trade show. If you're a gamer of any type, there's an annual event you should know about no matter what your particular area of interest is. This event is Gen Con, America's premier game convention and trade show, sponsored by TSR Hobbies Incorporated and held in August of every year at a location in southeastern Wisconsin. Okay. We're now, Chrissy.
Gotta go back and hit a switch. There's also a extra area too that one of us would need to stay behind to work the pressure plates if you'd like.
Okay.
But first I'll open the lever.
So yeah, D&D for me definitely was a thing that was passed on down from an elder generation of my family. This really caught my eye. And then the first, I was always intelligent, but I was never really driven to read. The first book that I really read, though, and absolutely enjoyed, and what finally got me into reading just on my, just because, was Exile. And that was the second book in the Dark Elf trilogy. And that's where we found our hero, Drew Stewart, navigating the Underdark after he escaped Minzo Berenzon and his family. And, I was pretty into that when he got caught by the deep gnomes and he had to be a slave, and it was interesting.
Those books are amazing.
Yeah, so Exile is what did it for me. And then I read Exile, then I read Homeland, and then I read Sojourn, and then I read them in chronological order after, reading Exile out of order. But which is different than most people, because most people at the time, if you read from when they first came out, the Icewind Dale trilogy came out first, but chronologically came out after that. And they actually had to go back and edit the Crystal Shard, because originally when that book first came out, they said Drist was about 300 years old, and then they went back and revised that and when he finally came out of the Underdark and Sojourn, he wasn't quite 100 years old yet. So they had to, if you have one of the original publications of that book, you know, some people might want it as collectors, but you know, it's been changed since then. Alright, Chrissy, what's up? What do you do?
Okay. I'm going to call out either A or F. The one you're standing by is F. The one across the way is A. And then you step on the ones that I call out. Once I'm through and I get the lever open, then you can swim under to where I'm at. You will need some sort of water breathing.
Okay, this is A, that's F. I don't have water breathing. What am I going to do?
Take your armor off.
Okay.
Helps you hold your breath longer. Alright, I will be right back. Well, you'll be right here soon.
Okay.
Okay, I need A, please.
A. Done.
Do it again.
A. Done.
It's not opening.
Move to the other one.
Is.
Can I swim to you now?
Not yet. No, I need A open. F is open, but A is not.
A. I just stepped on A. I stepped... Yeah. Okay, the one that I was standing next to begin with was A, and the one across the thing was F, right? You're the
Well,
one...
yeah, that's what I call them.
Okay, which one do you need open?
A, please.
A's open.
We'll go step on the other one. Whatever opens the gate.
I think I've read that, by the way, The Daughter of the Drow by Lane Cunningham.
Alright, don't do anything yet. Okay, A needs to be open again.
I've read books by Richard Lee, Tom Reed, Richard Baker. It's Richard Lee Byers, by the way. Lisa Smedman, Philip Athens, Paul Kemp, Ed Greenwood. You want me to step on the other one now? Alright,
yep.
Stepping on F. Hope you didn't drown.
Cool. No, I didn't drown. I got water breathing on.
Should have shared with me.
Oh, it's just a ring. Can't share one of those.
Let's see. Reaver's ring. Ring
Right,
hey,
go through.
I got a ring of water breathing. I used that. Look at that shit. I'm a bubble-headed looking. Is Amir Zakir, or is that your husband?
Nope.
What?
Who's Amir? Oh, that's Lesser. That's right.
Yep. No, my husband's working tonight.
Alright,
Alright, I'm gonna rebuff real quick.
Do it to it.
Okay, go nuts.
That's doing what? Running! Oh, I was running. I like how it looks like I'm going to the moon. If you believe they put a man on the moon. Man on the moon. A little REM for everybody.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Nothing like a bit of music with our D&D.
Oh, I should help kill the guy with the orange name, huh?
No, you could.
Avarn Hoosialist.
Can you jump up there? Oh, there's a ladder.
I was going to
I'll
say,
help
I might be able to jump, but I don't need to.
All that time, I never noticed the ladder.
Okay. Where have you been?
Jumping up the ledge.
So does anybody want to guess what Gary did before he was a game maker?
Don't know.
Insurance salesman.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, he sure did. He actually, at one point with TSR went out to Hollywood and was running TSR Entertainment, which I think became eventually Dungeons and Dragons Entertainment, and he pitched the cartoon out there, and they had a cartoon on D&D in the 80s, and it actually led its time slot for 2 years. It was the highest in the ratings, so it was actually, even if you go back and watch it now, you're like, oh my, wow, it's kind of corny. It was the highest rated TV show in its time slot for 2 years.
I love that one.
Yeah. I got a Caravan logbook. Caravan. I might drown on the way back now.
I hope not.
I'm just saying that because my bobblehead went away.
Got more to kill.
You have the movies, so you're that person. You know, I can't say a good friend of mine, but a Twitter friend of mine clued me in onto the second movies, and I knew the first movie was terrible.
The second movie was much better.
The second movie was actually horrible. It was the third movie that was kind of okay, I thought. Which, it was even worse. The third one was like a sci-fi movie, like, made by the Sci-Fi Channel.
Oh,
D&D. There was a D&D third one?
Yes.
Jeez.
Yes. It's terrible. I can't believe you liked the second one. Seriously.
The second one was a lot better than the first one. The first one
What?
was...
No.
The first one with Marlon Wayans, come on, that was horrible.
The first one had that actress that was in American Beauty, and then she like did nothing else because she also had a favor with Hollywood. I forget her name. A rather pretty girl.
It's a pretty girl there, Richard.
The second one tried to be like too much of like a D&D adventure.
But that's what a D&D movie should be, you know.
They even had like fumbling the teleportation and getting her hand like stuck in the rock and...
Oh, that actually... Yeah, I remember that. The guy... was it the girl that teleported into the rock?
The girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty weird.
Anyway... So, Jerry Snook, if you see this, thanks for tricking me into watching the third one. Not so much on the second one, guy.
I didn't know there was a third. The second one had that bad guy from the first one, but with things in his head, or...
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell?
Jeremy Irons, I thought, played the bad guy in the first one. Now he's just a pope. He's a pontiff on... Well,
no, it was Jeremy Irons, but there was the other guy who also played a villain in Highlander 4.
See, after Highlander 3, it's just like... That's a movie that needs a reboot.
They are rebooting it.
Is it going to be Christopher Lambert?
No, the guy's 100 years old and blind.
He's not 100 years old, but I think he was blind back then, too.
60s, yeah. Oh, yeah, he was. He always had problems with
Had like a stigma or something. He had like no depth perception. Which would be a stigmatism.
I want to say it's Ryan Reynolds, but I'm not 100% certain.
Ryan Reynolds.
I'm not even joking.
You know what I think's funny is that Ryan Reynolds is such a good sport about people always saying he's gay even though he's not, that he actually goes on The Family Guy and plays gay characters.
That was really good.
Have you seen that? He's guest appeared on like 2 episodes. One, he lived across the street from Peter, and he was trying to like hook up with Peter.
Yeah.
And then another one, he played... Oh, and then he was in the movie Ted. And it was Patrick Warburton who he kissed him in the movie. It was hilarious. There wasn't a whole lot of funny about Ted that wasn't in a trailer, because that movie, oh my god. When they had the guy from help me out here. Name a cheesy 80s movie where the guy was a quarterback for a football team. Flash Gordon.
Isn't it Mark Wahlberg?
Mark Wahlberg was in Ted, but no, Flash Gordon was in the movie.
Flash. Oh.
It was so bad. So bad.
Guys, can we talk about Transformers for a minute? My masterpiece Soundwave came in from Japan.
Yeah. And?
That's $150, a pure, awesome toy.
One of my boys is just everything Transformers. Everything.
My son has not gotten to Transformers for whatever reason.
Because you're a bad father? Thank you.
He's not a big fan of Legos either. He just doesn't have the attention span for him, really, to be honest with you.
Transformers helped me in my rehab.
Dude, I didn't say anything bad about Transformers, and I didn't say anything bad about stroke patients. All I said was my son doesn't have the attention span for them.
I'll go pop the trap. Hold on.
I have a Transformers hockey jersey. Hell, I have a Starscream hanging from my rearview mirror in my car.
I don't know, Ryo, what movie did that.
That's high roll.
I don't know what band did the movie for Flash. Yeah, well, I have a Bumblebee Camaro.
No, you don't.
You're right, I don't. Because that's some stupid-ass shit.
Trust me, I'd be a lot more friendly to you if you did.
I want the Corvette.
Really? You want a Jazz Corvette?
Jazz was a Porsche.
Yeah, she does more than you.
No, who was it in the new movies? I know what he was in the show, but I thought Jazz was the vet in the movies.
No, he wasn't a vet. He was.
Who was the?
He actually wasn't even a Porsche in the new movies, Jazz. He was a.
I understand they were GM. There was somebody in the third movie that was a.
Second movie?
Was the second movie? Yeah, it was the second movie. They were a. Help me out here. It wasn't a production Corvette. It was just a show car. God, what the hell is the name of cars?
Sideswipe. It's Sideswipe.
No, anyways, Jazz was in the first one. He got ripped in half and killed, and everybody was like, "Oh, they killed the black Transformer."
No, but Sideswipe was the Corvette with the blades.
Okay, yeah, but he was in the second one. He was the. It wasn't a production. It was a. I cannot think of it in this. I hate that when you know what they are and you can't think of the word.
Concept?
Thank you, God. Good Lord.
Just Josh. In Generation 1, he was sort of like a Herbie-type car, yeah.
Oh, in Generation 1, Bumblebee was the Herbie car.
No, he was a Beetle.
Yeah, Herbie the Love Bug was a Beetle.
That's true.
Bumblebee was a Volkswagen Bug.
Yes, and so was Cliffjumper. No, he wasn't. Yeah, actually, for the toy he was, but in the cartoon he wasn't.
And now he's he got killed in the first episode of Prime. He's a Dodge Challenger, which is awesome because that's my favorite car.
And Prime is canon now.
Yes.
According to Hasbro, so.
I am so glad they got the same guy to do the voice for Prime. They
Peter Cullen. He's French Canadian. I don't understand how he ended up being French Canadian with a name like
Even
Cullen.
I didn't know that. He's French Canadian.
Yes.
Like from my neck of the woods?
Like from Cape Claw?
Holy shit. You just blew my mind.
Trap.
But even Megatron's the original Megatron, and the guy who played Starscream is dead.
No, he's not. It's not the original Megatron. The guy that plays Megatron was...
It's Frank Welker, and it's the original Megatron in Prime, I swear to God.
Not in G1, though.
Yes.
No, in G1, Frank Welker did voices, but he didn't do Megatron's voice.
He did Eeyore and Megatron. And he also did others.
I don't think that the current Megatron did the original Megatron. Seriously.
Would you like to bet your magic cards?
No, I'm not going to bet all my magic cards.
Would
I
you
do
like
know
to
that he
bet them?
voiced... I do know that he voiced in there, but I didn't think he did the original Megatron.
Oh, sorry, Eeyore, not Eeyore. Peter Cullen was also Eeyore, sorry. The original Starscream and Cobra Commander voice actor is dead. He died. But Frank Welker is Megatron. Thank you, White Earp.
Oh, you know what I'm thinking of? Frank Welker did voices in the movie. He just didn't do Megatron.
He did
Yeah.
Soundwave.
He did Soundwave, but he didn't do Megatron. That's what threw me off.
In Prime,
Correct.
they got him back to do
Correct.
Megatron.
Correct. Which everybody was confused why they just didn't have him do it in the movies.
Yeah,
because
in the
they did
movies
so
it
much
was
voice modulation to what's his face, which
Hugo
was from the
Weaving.
Hugo Weaving. Yeah.
Trust me, I'm.
Yeah, I was
I'm a
going to say
nerd.
that.
I know these things.
I was getting ready to call him the agent from Matrix.
You're talking to a guy who has Transformers in his bedroom and drives
Optimus up and down his fiance's body when she sleeps. Because I like driving over the caverns of...
Yes, Wyatt Earp. The Matrix did Megatron, and that's Hugo Weaving. And TMI about your girlfriend. Now I'm going to have to go back and edit that out of the show.
Oh. I kept it PG. I kept it PG. I said the caverns of...
Well, I meant the hills of plenty, not the cavern. Boobies.
Sure, I could work the lever. What do you need me to do to the lever?
I need you to pull it when indicated, because this is where we got to split up just a little bit.
Okay.
Alright, hit it.
And yes, he was also Elrond.
Hit it again.
He was also... I don't know.
Incoming.
Yeah, he was in which I love.
So for upcoming Wayback Wednesdays, by the way, next week is going to be Dark Age of Camelot and Cathal Valley with the Albions. The week after is going to be, I think Wayback Wednesday is actually going to be on a Tuesday because I'm going to have some guys from Iceland with me.
That makes no sense.
Anybody want to care? Anybody want to guess what game it is? If I'm going to have people from Iceland with me?
Lego?
No. That's a
Norway.
Scandinavian country.
Iceland. Eve?
Maybe. So, gonna have Eve on soon.
Nice.
Actually, Blizzard's gonna stop by later on this summer, maybe early fall, or talk to them. There'll be a reason why that it's gonna be a certain time and it's not now that they're gonna stop by.
Is it a Wayback Wednesday thing, or is it like
It'll be a Wayback Wednesday
new
thing.
Big project thing?
It'll be a Wayback Wednesday thing. It'll be about WoW. But I'll leave it to your imagination on why they would come at that time frame. To talk about WoW.
Well, it's not their anniversary because they opened like in November.
Just think about their...
For Wayback, would they do an expansion?
Okay.
Oh, Rob, you are very mysterious.
I'll hit the shrine in a second.
Okay. And I got Vanguard coming up. I
never got
have.
into it. I always wanted to get into that.
Well, we'll play some Vanguard then. I have EverQuest coming back because I don't know if you saw Tom Terrassa's tweet today that they've got some upcoming news on EverQuest coming out soon.
That's what I've been doing.
EQ2, I'm sure will stop back by. I talked to the Asheron's Call people, and Asheron's Call, once they are working on Asheron's Call 2 to get it out of beta. I thought they were just going to bring it back on, throw it on the servers, call it beta, and just leave it like that, but they're actually working on it. And once they get that to where they feel it's a release game again and not a beta, they'll come back on and talk about Asheron's Call 2. EQ'd next. FYI, just going to throw this out there. Smedley tweeted out, haha, he didn't say haha, but he was like, thinking about permadeath for EQN. And then Dave Jorshins, aka Smoke Jumper, who is basically the HNIC for
Alternate in Canada?
the HGIC
Oh.
for
That tweet was evil.
EverQuest, and he said, no, we're not even thinking about experimenting with permadeath in EQ. So
They should have a permadeath server.
the president of the company is like, we're thinking about doing this, and then the guy in charge of the franchise is like, no, we're not. The reason being is that permadeath in Wizardry just feels gimmicky. It's like almost something that you kind of just spend money to make sure that you didn't have happen to you. And the fact that you can spend money to prevent it from happening to you kind of makes it hokey.
Yeah, it's not permadeath, it's insurance death.
Yeah. So anywho, who wants to possibly put their character in an MMO that you could spend months on at risk to actually permanently being deleted?
Well, if they had like a legacy system that...
Now,
maybe
see, that's
made use
different.
of it,
If you could like
yeah.
have, you know, like your spawn, like your son or something, you know, that'd be one thing. But or daughter, or you know, son brother. And if anybody's like son brother, I'm oh, you completed the Skeleton Exterminator 1 deed in your monster manual. Sweet. I think that's like my first monster manual completion.
I always said, like, if I ever had the know-how to make a game like this, I would make it microtransaction based, but like, it would have permadeath, but you'd have to buy your class or get it randomly sort of in a pack, sort of have that gambling aspect, but like, oh, look, I'm a fighter, or I'm a paladin today, or...
Here's the thing,
the rare class
people will gamble their money. People don't want to gamble months worth of their playtime.
I wouldn't have that problem. I die the first night in hardcore Minecraft.
Yeah, I would allow death, but you'd lose like your class and have to like, you know, get a either common pool of classes or there's like rare classes you could become that you lose if you die. That's what I would do. Because it's gambling.
There is that.
But yeah, a lag spike on the server, or a server disconnect, getting your character killed, you would just like go out to San Diego and punch somebody in the fucking face.
Or somebody killing you on purpose. I could see that happening easy.
Yeah, just like for training a whole bunch of dudes on you or something. Yeah. I mean, I can see if they had a server where you can select that and they offer me more reward, sure, but still, it's... There has to be an incentive. It can't just all be like a negative thing, other than saying it's hardcore.
Why isn't this being narrated, Chrissy? Why no narration?
I can hear it.
I don't hear it. I don't get anything.
I'll do it for you. A long time ago in the
It's not about you.
dungeon, there was this dwarfen guy with axes,
And he killed stuff. Ho ho ho.
Okay, you're not quite Gary.
Fuck.
It was a good try, though.
I'm off the cuff.
Interesting. Apparently, I did not pick up the last quest, even though I thought I did. Oh well. So, anyways, thanks for being our tour guide tonight, Chrissy. I appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. Sorry my coffee kicked in late.
That's good. It's better than never at all. I appreciate everybody coming and hanging out, BSing around about the old DDO, talking about their games and their experiences. So that's it for Wayback Wednesday. Thanks for coming and hanging out, and I will see you guys next time.
Next Wednesday or Tuesday.